My name's Purvi. This is R&R. Our pose of the week is supported Paschimottanasana. So we'll see ourselves in a extended leg fold. There'll be a bend in the knees to protect the hamstrings. Know that if you don't have props, that's okay. If you do have props today, I recommend a blanket or two, a bolster, a block, a strap, or a belt. And then you'll use those interchangeably to find your pose. We're going to be in this one for about 5 minutes, so start to get comfortable. If you have a playlist you want to play, you're welcome to turn that on now. I usually have restorative practices as fairly silent practices. So you're set to go. Get on in there. Take note of your breath in this shape. Where do you feel the experience in the body? Do the sensations trigger any specific thoughts? How can we plant ourselves here mindfully? Notice if your shoulders climb towards your ears, allow them to gently fall apart. Soften the arches of your feet. As you spend time here, you might find that moving props or adding props is helpful in supporting the yoga practice. So sometimes when we come to stillness, we have the chatter, it starts to go up. We become stagnant in a pose and kind of fixate on a specific thought. To allow ourselves to remain free of these grasping, holding, clinging, and reaching qualities of thinking forward and backward, future and past, we have to adjust in the moment. So adjust as you need. Keep paying attention to the breath. Remember that much of our breath capacity is behind us, that which we can't see. So exaggerate the breath on that inhale way back into the back of your lungs. Steady inhales. Steady exhale. as you maintain this pose. You hold yourself in this moment, in this place and time. Notice what you cling to. Thoughts of the past, thoughts of the future. The idea of the focus, ahamkara, the I-ness, the me-ness, that which is within you that clings to things. The roles that you play in this life, the experiences you move through. Or sometimes the things we would say define us. Our work, our home, our friendships, our philanthropy, the things that we engage with the world around us. But those are things outside of ourselves. Those are extensions of ourselves from the deep essence within. So we just keep coming back slowly in these moments of still, opening up to ourselves over and over. Breath in, breath out. So you take 3 more full inhales and exhales. Really exaggerate the breath into the back of the lungs as you fill up. And exhale, feel the belly soften as you fold forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Then after your last round, you'll just slowly come up to seated. You'll move the props out from under you and around you and just sit with the natural curve of your spine. If you want to leave your legs extended, you can do that, or you can come to cross-legged. Just let your spine be long, vertical. Let's take a deep breath in and a full breath out. And then slowly, a comfortable cross-legged posture of your choice. So we'll take a pose where you're seated, and I'm going to have you face us, Olivia, if you don't mind. Thank you. We'll just take a couple bends and twists. So we're first going to inhale. I'm going to have you reach your right arm up. As you exhale, bend over. Breathe into the right ribs. Soften the left shoulder. And then inhale through center. This time you're going to twist to your right. So right hand behind you, left hand to the knee. Inhale, sitting up tall. Exhale, bringing it out. And then inhale, come through center. I want you to just cross and recross your legs with the opposite leg in front. That's it. And we'll side bend over to the right this time. So left arm reaches. Inhale, exhale, bend. Really open up the left lungs. And then the breath in will bring you through center, sitting up tall, twisting over to your left. Left hand behind you, finding length on the inhale. Exhale, wringing out. That's it, Hannah. Nice. Lovely work. And then breathe in as you come through center. Great. We're going to, we opened up the back body in quite a bit. So we're going to come to our scorpion stretches. So you're going to come onto your stomach and you're going to start with your right arm directly out to your right. So Your right arm will come directly out of that right shoulder. And then your left hand will plant by your chest. So those of you who, and then you'll see what Olivia is doing. Yes, that's it. Your right ear will come onto the block or the ground, and then you'll just lift that left leg up and over, back behind. Yeah, for as comfortable as it feels. You can come onto your left fingertips to help that left shoulder stack a little bit more, pulling it back. And then since we're here for a few minutes, you might just rest that left palm down. You might take your left forearm around your low back, palm facing away from the body. And I think before, I've definitely fallen asleep in this pose in a yin class, so it can be done. Be patient with the pose. If it feels like too much to have that left leg bent and straight up to the ceiling, the knee up to the ceiling, you can always extend it a little bit. You can bring the leg in front. There's a lot of variety in this. Listen to your body. Looks lovely, Isabella. Nice support, Megan. Consider the things you cling to in moments of stillness. If ahamkara is our I-ness, our ego-ness, our attachment to the self in the outer world, what is a release? What would a surrender be? Where we reconnect, reunite with all that we are. Yoga practice, an opportunity to remember who we've always been. As we begin to identify more with the roles that we play in our human experience. Sister, brother, friend, neighbor, mother, daughter, son, all of those, employee, employer, business owner. We cling to how we show up in those roles. We decide it's got to look a certain way, and those are parameters set for us by our culture, our own experiences, things we've read or seen. This practice is a chance for us to slow down, to shed away those things. What do we observe in the stillness? Who or what do we cling to? Whatever it is we're clinging to, does it truly serve us? Let's take a deep breath in, a full breath out. Those of you who have your top arm around your back, you're going to inhale, bring it forward and plant it by the chest. As you exhale, lower slowly back onto your stomachs and just rest for a moment on your forehead, on your opposite ear, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. And then we'll take the posture on the other side. Left arm reaches directly out of your left shoulder. Right hand by your chest, left ear on the ground. And then your right leg will go up and over, maybe knee pointing to the ceiling. A lot of times when we have postures that are two-sided, most postures we have are, right? Unless they're symmetrical in a sense of wide-legged stance or wide-legged fold. There's always a left and a right. And sometimes that clingingness comes to how we receive ourselves, from left to right, right to left. So maybe you're coming onto those right fingertips. Maybe you wrap that right forearm around the back. Maybe on this side you can't do it. Maybe you have an injury that restricts your movement. You start to identify with that injury. You start to dictate your experiences based on that. That is the freeing that we're working on, ahamkara, to let go of our ego's attachment. That the ego serves a purpose, but when it takes the reins, it loses sight of this wholeness that is within us, when it forgets, that's what we're working to rein in. Find your breath. Take it deep into the back of your lungs. You are exactly where you're supposed to be and exactly how you're supposed to be. More than halfway there. Where do you go in the stillness? How does that influence the breath? An invitation to check in over and over again. Take a long breath in, a full breath out. Those of you with your top arm wrapped around your back, you'll lightly plant the right palm by the chest as you inhale. Exhale, slowly lower onto your stomachs. Pause for a moment. Take a deep breath in. A long breath out. Nice job taking your time. And we're going to take a crocodile pose here. So this is just a ground supported external opening of the hips. You're just going to take your feet as wide as your mat and take your toes off the edges. Yep. And you'll interlace your fingers so the elbows go out, palms down, and then just rest your face on the back of your hands. Yeah, that's it. You can rest on the side of your face if you prefer. If you've been experiencing any sensations in your sinus cavities, it might even feel nice to lightly rub the brow bones, the cheekbones, the backs of the hands, a place to kind of create a little acupressure for your face. Take a long breath in and a full breath out. I'm just going to stay here for one or so minute, like a minute or so. Try to soften the arches of your feet. Feel the inner ankles release. Notice if the shoulder blades are creeping together and the tops of them are reaching towards the tops of your shoulders and those are reaching for your ears. Allow yourself to relax just a little bit deeper. Big, big, big breath in, all the way into the back of your lungs. Feel your belly press into the ground. And then a soft exhale through the mouth. Gently, you'll bring your big toes to kiss back behind you. Your hands will slide under your shoulders. And you'll press your hips back to your heels for child's pose. Take a long breath in. Yeah, that's it. And a full breath out. And then you'll just walk on your hands in and you're going to grab your little belt, your strap, and you're going to move up to the wall for legs up the wall. And what we want is the strap to be about hip distance apart when it's closed. It can be a little bit narrower or it could be a little bit wider. It's really up to you. And what you're going to do is shimmy first as close as you can to the wall. Get your shoulder right up against it. Doesn't matter which side. Your spine's going to go down first onto the ground and parallel with the wall. And then you'll swing your legs up and your butt to touch. And you'll adjust the tightness of your strap as you need. You can get it a little narrower, or you can, again, keep it as wide as the outer framework of your hips. And then you'll just try to settle in. A blanket under your head and shoulders might feel nice. And if you want those lift, I'll help you out. Got it? And just a slight lift for the head might be nice. Like the tip of your shoulders, just the tip top of your shoulders might rest under or on top of the blanket. And here, this is where we're going to be for a while. So get comfortable. Physically, you might start to feel more comfortable in this pose, and the mind might start to work towards the discomfort. It's also, evening time right now while we're recording this class. And so your mind might also just give in to relaxation. That's great. That's it as well, right up against it first. There you go. If you don't have a belt or strap or scarf, it's totally okay. If your legs start to fall apart a little bit, no problem. So, this week's focus, ahamkara, the ego-ness, the attachment of the I to the self and our human form. I as I do, I as I am, or the ego and the egoism or attachment to who we are and how we see the world. And it reminds me of my teacher, Swamiji in India. He talked about a famous quote. Rene Descartes said, cogito ergo sum, or cogito ergo sum, which translates roughly to I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am. And the yogis see through their philosophy, through this work, I think, therefore I am is what we're working away from. It is that egoism leading the way. The yogic translation or observation would be I am, therefore I think. So it flips that quote around in the sense of I am, therefore I think. The thinking is a part of our human experience. It is through the attachments of our senses and sensations and the triggers that the sensations ripple us into thoughts, past and future. Attachments to how we've seen the world or what we've been told about the world. And the yogic practice is to remind us to keep coming back to this chit within us, this essence of possibility and abundance. A common thread woven through all things, all beings, past, present, and future. So every time your mind wanders off, be gracious for this experience. That thinking is a part of being human. Remembering our divinity is a practice. And that your breath is a tool to keep bringing you back. So if people or pets or neighbors, the things that might pull you away from your practice, from your mat, from you as you are right now and in this moment, be gracious with yourself. Be generous as you come back. Breathe in, breathe out. You are more than this moment. You are more than your body. You are more than a single experience. The hope of this practice is to allow us to open like a flower blooms, with ease, following the natural flow in our energy, moving through us, flow of the thoughts. I forget what the statistic is. Like for the percentage of thoughts that we hold in our day, a majority, like a very high majority of those thoughts are all old recycled thoughts. It's very few limited and new thoughts that we bring through our minds. It's part of our humanity. Embracing our divinity and remembering that I am, therefore I think, is a practice. Long breath in, long breath out. Take 3 more full cycles, really spacious. Follow the full inhale from your belly expanding, your side ribs growing all the way into the chest and collarbone. Feel your spine melt back into the ground as you exhale. The breath goes long, in and out. Remembering that all the things that we've created in the world, the experiences, the labels, those are created by our humanity. Right, wrong, good, bad, feminine, masculine. Ultimately, all of those things are just experiences and qualities. They don't have to fall into a dual essence. The emotions, neither feminine nor masculine, are just human emotions. The activity of the mind, not right or wrong, just human activity, mental chatter. You'll slowly walk your feet in, down the wall, knees towards your chest. Just take a moment, feel your low back, feel the wall, the prop, the chair. Move your straps, your belts, your any boundaries you've created around yourself, and tip over to a side. Make a pillow with your bottom arm. Pause there on your side. Breathe in. Breathe out. It's not about getting it right. That you're here just doing it. You're doing the practice. You're making the effort. You're opening up simply by arriving. Breathe in fully. Exhale completely. And you'll slowly sit up tall. Either a kneeling posture or a comfortable cross-legged posture. You can stay up against the wall or move down to your mat. Eventually, just pausing here for a moment, closing the eyes. Visualizing yourself in this room, in this place, in this time. Seeing yourself as if you could project yourself outside and look, see all that you are, your human descriptors, your hair, your eyes, well, they're closed, but imagining the color of your eyes, your skin, your structure, your stance, without judgment, without altering it. See it for all of its possibilities. See yourself without attachment, without boundaries, but limitless and full of possibility. And then plant it like a seed of gratitude between the palms of your hands as you bring them together over your heart. The heart space, the anahata, the unstruck. Gratitude for all that you are. A little dip of the chin towards your chest to this place within, a union of our universal self and our individual self coming together. And simply bowing forward to seal the practice. Namaste.